Hi, this is Vicki Collett. I am super excited to be launching my book, Collaborative Lesson Study. It's being published by Teachers College Press. The release date's today. So I thought in celebration of the release, I wanted to just share a little something about how the book came to be and some ideas about what's important in the book. So I wanted to start with this quote by Shelley Harwain about the power of observation, because observation is a really key part of lesson study. And so let's listen to this quote by Shelley. She says, visiting another teacher's room allows you the luxury of driving in the slow lane, stopping to see the big pictures as you take notes, jot questions, and think about children other than your own. And I think that that is part of the power of observation, that we really get to drive in the slow lane and think about what's happening without having to be worried about the next thing that we're going to do as the teacher. So I've had the experience in quite a few different settings to really see the power of observation in action. And the first one is with demo lessons. So I am part of the National Writing Project, and one of the things that we do in National Writing Project is demo lessons. So at our summer institutes, for example, we have the teachers come up with lessons, and then they do what we call a demo lesson. And so the demo lesson is observed, participated in, because you kind of act as the students in that situation, but the other teachers are observing that lesson in action during a demo lesson, trying it out, and then of course the teacher who created the lesson can make modifications based on feedback or just based on how it goes. And I am so excited about what happens during a demo lesson that at our last big full day conference for National Writing Project, instead of having like workshop sessions, we just had demo lessons, which always include a debrief. So the demo lesson is one example of the power of observation in action. Another example is modeling. So part of my coaching model, the gradual increase of responsibility model for coaching, the GIR coaching model, the very first stage is the modeling stage, because modeling is the most supportive scaffold that a coach can provide. So I've seen that in lots of situations. Often the coach will model in the teacher's classroom who she's working with. So that again provides the observer an opportunity to really focus in on how students are taking up the work and the nuances of the lesson. And I've seen that to be really powerful. When I was in Haiti for a couple of years doing professional development with teachers, we would bring in a bunch of kids because we were at an orphanage. It was during the summer, but we could just bring in a bunch of kids at the end of the day, and one of the teachers would model what we'd been talking about with a group of kids. And that was a really powerful way for all of the teachers, the one who was doing the modeling and the rest, to put the new practice into action. So modeling, again, shows that power of observation. I also had some really transformative experiences with what's called lab visits. So there's an organization called the Public Education and Business Coalition, and they're headquartered or housed in Denver, and I had lots of opportunities to do lab visits with them. For a lab visit, it's a lesson observation, but you go to the lab host, so a teacher who's especially prepared to have other teachers come in and observe, and we would go in with 10 teachers at the same time into a lab room, and there would always be a pre and a post observation. And so those were really powerful and transformative experiences for me as I participated with PEBC. And then also we, in the school district where I was at the time, I was a district curriculum person, and we created our own lab classrooms, and I got to facilitate lab visits to those lab classrooms with the pre-observation meeting for us to set our goals or our focus, and then the observation, and then the follow-up where we would debrief. And again, I really saw the power of observation in action. And then the final one that I want to talk about is lesson study, because that's what my book's about. Collaborative Lesson Study is the title of the book. Because in lesson study, the focus, like the title of my book says, the focus is really on collaboration. So you collaboratively plan a lesson, and then one of you teaches the lesson while the others observe this lesson that you've all really put your best thinking into. And I feel like that could happen at any school. It does take some planning for the observation phase to happen. And in chapter 2 of the book, I give some suggestions about how you can make that happen, even if you don't really have funding to support an observation, because I really believe in the power of observation, and so I think we got to find a way to make it happen. We got to find a way for that power to be in the hands of teachers. So I thought I would share with you a little excerpt from chapter 5 of the book, which is on observation. So I'm just going to read a few paragraphs from that. So it says in chapter 5, watching an unfolding lesson through an outsider's lens helps observers slow it down and take it in. Teacher learning occurs alongside student learning as you see the ideas you have collaboratively planned brought to life. As you observe, you'll pause and think in different ways about your practice. Seeing a strategy work, especially in your own school, can nudge you in a new direction. Understanding can be changed through exposure to new information or even through looking at what you already know in a different way. Patterson and Tolnay compare classroom observation to a ride in a glass-bottom boat. In the way that a glass-bottom boat helps us see life under the sea, being lesson observers gives us the chance to leave our familiar reef and see the underlife of learning. Like the glass-bottomed boat, lesson observation is a vessel. It can lead us to new understandings. At a time when accountability systems equate observations with high-stakes evaluation, peer observation is a welcome change. This looking is about learning. We learn from what works and from frustrations and failures. As Roland Barthes has said, there's no more powerful way of learning and improving on the job than by observing others and having others observe us. So having a reference beyond our own practice helps us analyze, question, and build new understandings. Being thoughtfully observant during a lesson deepens our knowledge of best practice. Technology provides the opportunity to easily collect video and audio records of a lesson, but this is second best to actual classroom observation. When we observe, we step into the lesson. We feel the energy of the students. We experience the flow of time. We notice how the physical arrangement of the room and the use of materials support the learning. We absorb student and teacher interactions. We experience the lesson. Through observation during lesson study, we soak up ideas and sharpen our vision for learning. Seeing is believing. Observing our lesson in action opens the door to new possibilities. It shifts our expectations as we revision what is possible. So I hope that little excerpt kind of gives you a sense of what the book's like, and also a sense of the power of observation, a little more about that. That excerpt from the book just demonstrates what I truly believe, that observation opens new possibilities, and I hope that you'll take or make the opportunity to observe a colleague's teaching. I really think that, like Shelley Harwain said, you'll see the benefits of driving in the slow lane. I hope you'll take the chance to take a look at my book, and if you're interested, there's right now a promo code for 20% off, which is TCP 2019. TCP 2019. On the Teachers College Press website, you can use that promo code. Again, I'm super excited that this is launch day for my book, and comment below if you have any questions. I'll be sure to get back to you.